All music belongs to Nick Glennie Smith, Jerry Goldsmith, and the Beatles.
John and Paul. I am Johnny Tooby.
And I'm Hopeless Romance.
And we're reading our fine fan fiction of Simba as a Cub, Chapter 5. New friends. All art belongs to you, Hopeless Romance, and Jordan. Here's where the chapter Aquaman 52 left off. After this, it's completely up to me. And here we go, Chapter 5. New friends? Bored, I am bored. Bored, I am bored. Bored, I am bored. Yes, I am bored. I am bored out of my freaking mind.
For the 100,000th time, Simba shifted his head enough to look outside. All he could do was stare at the ceiling and the floor of the cave because he couldn't go outside. Nala told him so. He couldn't do anything in here either. That was just it. He really wanted to do something, but nothing? This was ridiculous. Even sharing nothing with Nala or Timon and Pumbaa were good.
Ah, screw it, he thought. I'm leaving here. Simba got to his feet, slowly but surely. After stretching a bit, shaking the grit of the underbelly, he started padding forward until he was right at the edge of the rim and sunlight that created an imaginary boundary between stay here and don't go out there where someone might see you. Let's be honest with ourselves here, he told himself here. The place is deserted. Nala is going my job, and Timon and Pumbaa are doing their thing. General Tojo and his wife are training Scar the Tax, Contra, and San are taking with her, and I'm sure they wouldn't want to do anyways. There's no reason for me to stay cooped up in here.
He leaned forward and his nose flashed in the sun. If I'm careful, he added as an afterthought, I'll be careful. He stared cross-eyed at his nose for a little longer, then backed up again. Why did he feel guilty about leaving? He didn't used to. As a cub, he almost never did. Now he was one. Kind of.
Only because he respected Nala, but that's outside the beautiful he had to leave. So who's to blame? He was a cub now. No one will know, right? He'd be careful, and he'd hide anyone and anything he got close to. He'd come back to 15 minutes and some quick walk in the grasslands and right back inside. Yeah, that would be perfect.
It took a leisurely stroll around the perimeter of High Rock, never speaking a word aloud, jumping into the foliage every time he even thought he heard something. He tried to focus on enjoying his fleeting visit with the world at large, like he usually would, but the more he walked, the more hard it was to ignore how high the peak of the grassland framed above his head, and how the pebbles he used to not even notice was too big to stub a toe on now.
Past day or so had been full of moments like this where it was just a second or two, he forgot how it happened to him. He forgot it was officially fun size now, and it sucked. Well, it did. There wasn't really any other way to say it. He'd even thought that when he was supposed to be this size, when it was part of the nature's design, being small sucked, and everyone wanted to grow up and be bigger, not smaller. So, but after 10 minutes exploring, he decided to make his way back to the rock sick birthing cave. All it seemed was going well until...
Hey, what are you doing up here, little guy? Was heard behind him. I'm screwed, Simba thought.
Simba thought maybe if I played dumb, innocent look that Nala caught him in trouble that he would just go away. As he did turn out, he looked smaller in Nala's face the wise. He was trying to think of her name.
You looking for your mama, little guy? She said before she got a chance to think much beyond that. She's probably still out on the hunt. Can you tell me her name, sweetie? She continued.
Simba prevented himself from laughing at this remark. Boy, if she knew who I really was.
Oh, a bit shy today, sweetie. The line has continued like a caring mother.
Simba blinked. He hadn't even answered her yet. Had he? Well, disaster averted there, he supposed.
Come on, the lioness continued, starting to pad toward him again. Let's get you back to the nursery.
Before he knew it, the lioness caught him by his nape and carried him to the Pride's nursery. Wow, imagine that, the king of Pride Rock being carried away to the nursery. Laugh out loud. I protest! I am not a merry man, he thought, and he felt stupid being taken to the nursery.
Come on, the lioness said,
Go.
Thankfully, the trip around Pride Rock to the nursery was a short one. Simba tried to get his legs under himself in time to make a smooth landing, and the lioness set him down, but his forelegs were just slow enough to stand by and watch as he fell flat on his face. The lioness cooed, and someone out of sight snickered, and Simba's face burned under his fur. You okay there, honey? The lioness said, her bottom lip quivering with barely a repressed giggle. Simba blew out a sigh and plastered on a tight-lipped grin, so she'd hopefully get the hint and stop talking.
Ah, you tough little guy, aren't you? She gushed in a shake of her head. Alright, you run along and play now. I'll be right over here if you need me, okay, sweetie? And she turned around and lifted the middle paw. Simba flipped up middle finger, springing the middle claw. Bitch, he murmured. Well, he's sort of stuck here. Might as well get along with the other cubs. He didn't think that they would care what he wanted, right?
Hi, he casually said.
Hello, the cub closest to him replied. He was the largest, most likely the oldest one, with the golden bright fur, cocoa-colored tuft, beginning to poke over his sharp gray eyes. Behind him were another two cubs, a boy and a girl, both looked a couple of months younger than him. The first cub had nearly identical blue eyes and tan fur. The only way Simba could even tell them apart was that the boy had slightly larger tuft and hung over his brow a bit. Who are you? What's the purpose of you being here? The older cub, he asked. He sounded suspicious. The cubs behind him matched his fur, brow and almost the lip perfectly.
Well, I was just walking around and I got caught. He put on a rebellious smirk and rolled his eyes for effect. Grown-ups, right? I mean, why are you here at Pride Rock?
Okay, totally wasn't prepared for that crap. Because you've never been here around, the other cub continued, and King Simba hasn't declared any new members of the Pride and adjusted his hunting party, so you didn't come here with the rogue. So who are you?
I was here too, he argued back. I just don't come over here much, that's all.
Because I get to stay in the den? All day? The older cub raised an eyebrow.
Yeah,
because I'm special, I don't know. You don't know if you're special? Yeah, whatever. Add the list of names I should have remembered. My mom didn't tell Kali, so now I'm here. The other cub just stared as she was still impressively blank. Wow.
Yep, Simba finished with what he thought was an equally aggressive glare. All right, he said. Simba waited for him to introduce himself, and 10 seconds later, he included on the fact that the cub wasn't going to.
So what's your name? Ugly, the cub said, And that's Hakara and Burka. They continued the pair behind the Nada in tandem. Simba couldn't help notice that Akli didn't ask what his name is in return, which he found himself not minding as much as he might have normally.
But now came the difficult part. How the hell was he going to get out of here? Or barring that, how the hell could he stand another 6 hours in the company of the Snout Brain Kid and the Mario twins? Just act like a cub. Do what a cub would do. Goof off.
Saki, he drawled. How fast are you?
Fast? Please elaborate. He blinked.
You think you can outrun me? Simba smirked.
I doubt I'll be inspired to try. It's illogical.
Well, can't you just do it? Akli just rolled his eyes and stood blankly.
Simba then remembered his childhood, then thought of it. Tag, you're it. Akili just left.
So Simba decided to play Growl at him and was just about to pin him when all Akli did is sit there and stare at him. What are you doing?
Declining inclusion in your vacacious display.
Simba's jaw dropped. What?
I don't wish to be it.
So, you don't want to play tag?
That's what I just said.
Well, what do you play?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? How do you guys have play around here?
Akili was now looking and acting like Mr. Spock or Data from Star Trek. By play, I assume you mean referring to some sort of competition involving a lot of running around for the purpose of pursuing a series of arbitrary achievements.
Sure, what the hell? Simba answered back curtly.
In that case, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you again, he intoned. You see, we don't exactly, as you say, play. What do you mean by that? Simba was now slightly annoyed.
It means we prefer to occupy our time with more refined activities. I mean, caviting about the minds of an indulgence of Hessianic ideals, or rather childish, isn't it? Aki continued. But you are a child, Simba replied.
Now that's all quite relative, isn't it? Akili countered. Didn't Habari, the fourth stage, keep him from leading the High Grass Pride to victory at the Mashamba of Yasiri? Sorry, who did what now?
Oh, let's not waste time with him, Akili. A new voice interjected. It was the twin on the left, the boy, Bakra, or maybe it was Hakara, but he must be 6 months old and doesn't even have the most rudimentary knowledge of provincial history. Oh, come on, it's not like you really that important to know, Simba muttered, unconsciously denying the fact that he probably should have known whatever it was they were talking about, judging by all the crash courses of diplomacy they rushed through after all Nala took over after Scar.
On the contrary, my friend, Akili chuckled. Why, without the past, we have no present, and without a thorough comprehension of previous...
Yeah, alright, I'm just gonna stop you right there, Simba said loudly, having officially had with the little prodigy. You don't play, got it, so what do you do for fun?
took up the interruption in stride. Well, he said, this morning we were discussing the classical religious doctrine in contrast with the larger metaphysical concepts of personality, ability, and karmic rebalance.
Simba's jaw dropped from far from compare.
We are going to move on to discussing the local socio-political state in light of King Uongo's collaboration with the Eastlands dingo packs. But someone wouldn't admit that polytheism is a pandemic and parochial practice better suited to rogues and cattle than a cultivated and cultured pride such as this. Baraka said bitingly, it was the same cub who had spoken before in any case. The male one, probably.
And as I explained to you before, the gods existing in the concept of what ensures the persistence of society, Akili argued back patiently, turning away from Simba entirely. At this very least, faith could collection of enthusiastic detail inspires the measure to act in accordance with those ideals the gods emphasize. But you're missing the greater picture of the spiritual advancement prescribed, set in ancient morals of the limits and the conditions in convention of the flower, not leading to the force of this territory requires it to be.
Are you impending that our pride doesn't have a leader? I'm saying that the one we know, that the one we have now, doesn't seem to have fortitude to make the necessary choices once they become apparent.
Oh, come on now, Akili said. Surprisingly, taking the defensive, sir. It's a defensive in air. It's highly impractical to judge King Simba on what you think we could do as a situation he hasn't encountered yet. Well, who is he going to be think about it? The twin argued back. Simba had been clearly given up on trying to piece together on which it was. It was now likely His Highness has spent the time considering the formation of competent government for decisions on a social policy. And we don't even get started on the wartime strategy.
Excuse me here, but what about this wartime stogies? Are we at war with Scar or someone? I don't think you're giving King Simba credit where it's due.
For overthrowing Scar? A drunk monkey could have overthrown that buffoon. And quite frankly, I don't know why one of them didn't even have the bother to try. Simba isn't any much worse, and Scar hasn't proven any much either. Now just a damn minute here! He began to say before he caught himself. He's not stupid, don't forget. He has General Tojo and his friend Chumbi that help Simba now yelling.
And what can you say that can prove that? Honestly, they're monkey and not much better. The twin snarled back, his patience obviously taxed with the newcomer to the nursery.
He let you stay here, Simba replied in a low tone. He didn't leave you and your family out in the grasslands to starve. And didn't have to murder someone to take the throne, which I might add, and witnessed as a cub with Queen Nala.
Well, at least Scar is in that dreadful outlands. I'll give him credit for banishing him.
It wasn't that easy. Without help with his wife and his friends.
Says who?
Says...
That's right, says Simba. The twin concluded with a derisive hiss.
Simba was about to fight these guys when a lioness approached.
Boys, play nice, she called out without showing any indication of getting up and enforcing her order.
Let it go, Baraka, Akili said. Somehow Simba was able to find a perverted sense of satisfaction, mistakenly having given the twin sister name in his mind. You're gasping the reeds. Remember, the more you understand what you're talking about, the less you have to prove to others.
You'll have to forgive them, Akila said matter-of-factly, as if simply stating the patently assholeish nature of his friend made it all irrelevant. He's got a bit too much confidence for his own good, as do we all, I suppose. He then turned to face Simba. So you were saying something about Scar?
Simba got and left. Where are you going? For a walk, bub.
Simba could sense the eyes of the babysitter as he was walking. He was already drawing out a zigzag path of escape through the foliage. and snapped into a fuzzy lion-shaped lump about his size.
Oh, sorry, the lump said. Simba blinked. That wasn't Baraka, that wasn't... Who the hell was that? This is another cub that for sure was a male, brought brown eyes and yellowish gold complexion and surprisingly looked a deal like Simba. Akili had been a little bigger than Simba and the twins had been a little smaller, but the cub was almost exactly his size, and he was staring at him. Wait, who are you? The cub somewhat bluntly. Are you from another pride? That's not my real name. Then what is it?
Kopa. Yeah, my name is Kopa. Actually, Kopa wasn't such a bad name. Must retain that name if not when I ever had kids. Sim Kopa, the cub commented above a smirk. That's not much better than nobody.
Oh, come on. Okay, hi, Chaka.
Chaka giggled. Hi, Kopa, he said. So where are you from, anyway? Simba liked this cub. He was much different from the others that he met. He liked him as he reminded him of himself when he was a cub.
We just got a few days to go, Simba said. Wow, so you're from another pride? That's so cool. Did you guys really eat your cubs like they weren't strong enough? Because that's what Nuka used to say that the prides did before he went to Outlands. I guess you weren't eaten, so you're probably pretty strong, right? Because I'm pretty strong too. This one time I pushed a giant rock and it's into a watering hole and made fun of a humongous splash, and everybody thought that the shore was soaked. It was awesome. Except my mom grounded me for a week, and she had to eat a bunch of plants from Rafiki to make the stomach feel better. So I didn't do it again. That's my mom over there.
Beth turned away and pointed an oversized paw toward the lioness who had taken Simba over to the nursery. When she noticed, she smiled and waved back at them, and for some reason, that was the point where Simba couldn't help but laugh.
It's just, Simba said, trying to think of how to explain you're going different from cubs to that. Oh, I mean, Akili, he said, yeah, you looked like you were just kind of dizzy from the ran into Akili or something. Okay, sometimes. He always talks like you're not supposed to understand, and he's saying that, okay, too, he doesn't really talk, but Baraka, you gotta stay from him. He's full of himself.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that, Simba added with a smirk.
And that's not it. Like, he's all smart. He's just unless a bunch of big words that Klee teaches him, and he acts like he makes him he's an awesome genius and stuff. It wouldn't be so bad except there's no one else to play with, and ever since Nuka left.
Well, I could play with you, Simba suggested. He was honestly a bit surprised when he realized that he was kind of hoping Chaka would like the idea, which he did.
Really? The cub nearly shouted.
Yeah, sure, Simba said.
Alright, Chaka beamed, but first, Chaka smirked. Tag, you're it! Chaka shouted. He sprinted off, gradually laughing, echoing around him and the whole time. Simba grinned and chased him back. Simba reminded, it was like being a cub again. Simba could forget all his records as an adult and had fun for a few hours.
The evening was already well underway by the time Simba and Chaka finally returned to Pride Rock. The day was fun, and it had been since he really was a cub back way back when time was meaningless, and no worries of duties were before him.
The journey home, however, brought forth a whole new mess of conflicting emotions in Simba, most which were simple enough to have due to the rearranging of his old world responsibility. Being a cub was fun, but Nala was more important to him.
He parted from Chako once they reached the entrance to the den. After confirming he'd be ready to go exploring again tomorrow at sunrise sharp. Once that was done, he started making his way up the winding path leading up to Pride Rock's summit, knowing that Nala was almost certainly up there waiting for him. There she was, looking down upset.
"Hey, Nala," he whispered. Nala glanced over him for a moment, but either could keep his eyes and just didn't want to. "Nala, what's wrong?" he continued, keeping his hesitation out of the voice as much as he could. As the silence lengthened once more, he took the closest paw and both his squeezed.
"I thought you were going to stay put," she mumbled without looking at him.
"I didn't mean to leave," he said, "Nala. Please forgive me. I was captured. Fortunately, there was no one who knows my name and knows who I am," Simba pleaded.
I was at Rafiki's today.
"Is he working on an antidote?"
He's trying, but he hasn't had any breakthroughs yet.
Okay, so...
He wanted to see me.
And...
Well, everything is okay with me, but Nala now locked eyes with Simba.
"You're pregnant," he said.
"I'm pregnant," she confirmed with what looked and sounded like a grimace.
Both lions blew out a long, heavy sigh, and with a good reason. Simba felt though he had just been flattened under a 1,000-pound boulder, and it was funny things that there was part of that he wanted just to scream with happiness. He was going to be a father.
Yeah, but he'd also be the size of a 6-month-old cub. The cub might be his child, but he would never be their father. He could never be their father. Not like this. Nala knew that.
"I thought I'd be happy," Nala whispered. Suddenly the tears of Simba hadn't witnessed before returning again.
Maybe we still can be, Simba countered, even though he thought it was a weak attempt. I mean, Rafiki will fix this, and then we can just live out a normal life together. Nala smiled, but then quickly frowned, and both were silent, both in depression as they stared out into the savannah.
"Hey Simba, I love you. I love you too. I just wish we could be happy. Not liking this though."
They stayed on the summit for a few minutes longer, and then Nala got to her feet, mumbled something that sounded like a good night, and she slipped away into the night. Half-hour later, when Simba finally rose as well, he had only one singular thought trapped between his ears.
"Please fix this, Rafiki. Please, please find a way to make us happy again. Now it's up to me. I hope you like what you see now, since this is all up to me. I'm Johnny 2B.
And I'm Hopeless Romance.
And we thank you and have a good night. This is Chapter 5, New Friends of Simba as a Cub. Thank you and have a good night.